Welcome back to more ReZero Arc 4. Links in the description if you need a refresher. You may notice that the camera is flipped, and that is because in the last video I noticed that I hadn't flipped it back to be correct. So now it is correct. And that's the way I'm going to end up doing this from now on. So this should be the correct view if you were actually looking at my face. This is how you would see it, which is going to be confusing up for all the videos up into this point, but oh well. Anyway, Subaru is still at the tea party, and now Satella has showed up to wreak some havoc, or not. Seriously, what is with you? What do you want from me? For so long, I have loved you, and no one else. Stop. I have loved only you for so long. I said stop, damn it. Both you and Echidna are insane. I've had it. I've had it with both of you. I won't accept help from any of you. So you're just going to keep dying, starting over, and making everyone cry? Really? Must be nice for you. No matter how everyone else feels, you can always make excuses that you're suffering the most. Are you saying that I'm pretending to be some tragic hero? No, I'm not. I'm saying that deciding you're the only one that needs to suffer is cowardly. That twisted thinking makes you way more vile than any witch. What? Okay, let me try to walk through this. So she hates violence and pain, so she uses her anger about it and her authority to heal all of those in front of her, regardless of any consequences or whether she has to put herself in danger. Thus, Subaru taking on the pain for the people around him, the people close to him, so that they don't have to experience that pain, regardless of how much it affects him, is... yeah, I'm not seeing a huge difference. And above all, it's really ungrateful to her. Vile. Ungrateful. What the hell? You're the one who made me like this. All the pain, all the suffering, all of it. If I had done nothing, would anything be different? Aren't I stuck with a horrible future anyway? Don't be hurt. Don't suffer. Don't look sad. So, love. That's what this comes down to? You're that desperate for me to love you? No. Love yourself more. What the hell did you just say? Don't be hurt. Don't grieve. Treasure yourself more. You're the one who gave me the ability to return by death. I love you, so I want you to love yourself and protect yourself. If I lost this ability out of love for myself, what would I even have left? There's nothing I can use but my own life. As long as I get hurt more than anyone else, so I can protect them, no one else will ever have to suffer at all. It's not like anyone cares about what happens to a loser like me, right? And we get what's really going on here. Subaru isn't just using Return by Death because he wants to help out the people around him. He genuinely feels like he has nothing else to give. That people don't like him because of who he is, they like him because of the results that he can bring. This is the reason that the witches kind of gang up on him during this conversation. They realize that this isn't about the conviction to help out his friends. This is Subaru having low self-esteem and essentially torturing himself in order to save everybody else. This is also exactly the same thing of what Echidna was wanting to do with her contract. Maybe just a little more slightly optimized than what she would have had him doing. And Subaru will eventually start to make that connection. No matter how bad I get beaten up, as long as everyone else makes it to the future, Rem is gone. If I had been stronger, if I had put myself on the front line without worrying about what might happen to me, I could have prevented it. I don't want to lose anyone else the way I lost Rem. You're not a child. Look at you, crying, wailing, trying to handle everything on your own. You're acting just like a lonely little child. Boru, are you crying? Look how much someone made you cry. You poor thing. So who made you cry? She calms down pretty quick in the anime, but that would have been a terrifying moment if there happened to be any non-witches in the group at that moment. This is the moment that Typhon and Daphne join in the web novel. So they're a little late to the party. Typhon calls Segment mom. Echidna explains that she's basically like a foster mom. In both the novels, she tries to figure out who made Subaru cry, with the plan of punishing whoever did it. They move on pretty quick, and nothing really comes about it. So I guess shortening this doesn't really change anything for the story. I love you because you gave me light, because you took my hand and you taught me about the outside world. Because when I trembled on lonely nights, you never stopped holding my hand. Because when I felt lonely, you kissed me and said that I wasn't alone. You gave me so many things. That's why I love you. Because you gave me everything. This is the light novel version. The anime cuts it down to just the first sentence, which loses a lot of the extra info there that we get about a possible past that they had together. Subaru has no idea what she's talking about. Stop it. Blood starts to leak from his mouth. Ah, that is indeed one option, Subaru. He falls over, coughing up more blood, as Minerva rushes him. His tongue, you complete moron! Before she can hit him, Typhon steps in and blocks the healing attack. Minerva's hand crumbles. Stay out of the way, Typhon. Baru made his own choice. You stay out of the way, Nerva. I will not allow self-harm, suicide, or murder to happen in my presence. She falls to the ground as if crushed by an invisible force. Emotionally, I'm on the boy's side too. And I'm on Typhon's side too. None of the other witches move. Why haven't you realized that you should be included among the ones you want to save? What could you possibly seen in those two trials? As he's dying, he remembers different things that people said to him or about him in the second trial. And while this is happening, he takes to heart some of the things that Satella said and starts to wonder if it's okay for him to want to live and not experience pain. He does eventually decide that he doesn't actually want to die. And that's always really been the case, but now he's thinking that he doesn't have to sacrifice himself. See, that's how you really feel. Minerva headbutts him, healing his tongue and bringing him back. Is there any value in my life? What can I do except die and repeat everything? In the web novel, she's still missing her arm, and in fact, she is also missing her legs at this point, too. She bites her shoulder in order to regrow her arm, and then punches whatever's left of her legs in order to regrow those. There's an extra few lines in the light novel that I think will make all of this make a little more sense. Don't ask me what worth you have, but that girl wants you to live so much. Plus, you saw the second trial yourself, didn't you? But the second trial showed me my mistakes, the sins I committed. What are you, an idiot? That wasn't to make you take responsibility for worlds gone wrong. That was to show you how sad people got because of the results of your mistakes. That's your answer right there, isn't it? Subaru is indeed an idiot. This was the interpretation that I got to whenever I first saw the second trial. Everyone is upset that he is dead, especially Amelia. Can I really believe that the people I like also like me? I allow it. You're the one who saved me, so I will allow you to be saved too. It is my wish for you to be saved. Tears start to flow from his eyes. Minerva aside, I'm surprised by the way you two just acted. Daphne holds down Typhon. In the light novel, Daphne gets completely out of the coffin, and then the coffin goes and attacks Typhon by itself. I guess because it doesn't have a brain, then her authority doesn't work as well on it. Daphne herself then goes and stands in the way of Segment. So I guess she's like doubling up on the fighting here. I think that threatening Typhon is enough, which is kind of what we see in the anime. You know, Subarun made some pretty big boasts to me, so I'd like to see him at least try to follow through on them. And you were the one who called him back from the brink of death, weren't you, Carmilla? You even used Faceless Bride. Whatever for. I just think love is important. even if he doesn't want to see it. There is love there, and I can't stand to see it be taken and not returned. Segment and Typhon respected his wishes, and Minerva healed him. Daphne helped prolong his life, and Carmilla used her authority to make him aware of the love he didn't see. So while each of you may have your own reasons, all of you wish to help Subaru. This truly is interesting. Seriously, what is the deal with all of you? I don't even know what to do anymore. Then, let me ask you this, Subaru. If I lend you my assistance, you can be assured that you will arrive at the future in which you save those you want to save. If you don't know what to do, would you extend your hand to me? I hate hurting, suffering, and being sad. I don't want to feel pain, and I don't want to see terrible things happen to anyone else. I don't want to die. So, since sacrifice is a prerequisite to taking your hand, I can't take it again. If I might have any value to them beyond my own death, I'm going to look for it. If I can find it, I have a feeling I can repay them in some way other than death. There we fucking go. Subaru finally finding some self-worth. That path is lined with thorns. If you thought of your death as a tool, your heart would be all you need to offer. But to deny that and try to claim both your own heart and other people's futures would be exceedingly difficult and, above all, greedy. I agree with her on this. It's amazing the amount of people who diss Subaru for not using Return by Death as a tool. But for most normal people, there is a high cost for that method. There's only so many times that you can watch a loved one be tortured to death before you start to become desensitized to it. And that fucks with your perspective and how you treat other people. I mean, we can just look at Roswell as an example within the story. Subaru is not strong. That is just a fact. So him wanting to save everyone without taking on that torture himself is greedy. And I, for one, am all for it. He needs to be greedy. It's true that you saved me time and time again. No matter what you had in mind, that part is true. That poor, stupid Garfield fears the outside world. To free him from his circumstances, you'd have to break that spell. She adds more in the light novel. She says that what he saw back then has bound his heart ever since. So there's a little bit more of a clue on what Subaru is going to have to do. Oh, I'm just being a sore, meddling loser. I don't want you to think that all the other witches were good at heart, but only Echidna was evil to the very end. It's still true that I am a girl, and that I am fond of you, after all. You're all monsters beyond my comprehension. We'll never understand each other, and I doubt I could ever like you. But thank you for being willing to let me die. Thank you for not letting me die. Thanks for letting me hear those precious voices I needed to hear. I do thank you for that. I don't understand you, but it's a fact that the return by death power you gave me has saved me many times. If not relying on it too much is what it takes to love myself, I can't say it'll be easy, but I will try to like myself a little more, like you said. You'll be alright? Compared to dying, it's nothing. Subaru reaches out and helps her up. Don't fret all alone. Fight alongside the people who care about you. Don't forget that there are people who grieve when you die. The world begins to fade until only Subaru and Satella remain. And one day, you must come to kill me. I swear, I'm going to save you. Such a good line. This is the exact same thing that he said way back in the first arc during his first death. And he said those lines to Amelia, or at least about Amelia. I actually think the only times that he has said this line is in reference to Satella. In the first arc, that's the name that Amelia gave him. So whenever he used that line, it was about Satella. And then a few loops ago, whenever Envy showed up in Sanctuary, he pulls off the cloak and he says that same line to Satella / Amelia, whoever that is. And then he says it here directly to Satella. It's almost like some secret clue or something, but seriously, I have no idea what that would be. This is probably just me reading way too much into it. Subaru is finally on a better path, hopefully. Subaru has not had very high self esteem at all, so that's problem's not just gonna magically evaporate. But this is a step in the right direction, and a step towards a more confident Subaru. And a Subaru that wants to fix problems without dying. And again, he's never wanted to die, but this whole arc seems to be getting him away from thinking that return by death is something that he needs to use. And the ending, Satella wants to die. That's really what she wants. I mean, she is immortal, but this is coming alongside Subaru saying that he wants to save Beatrice, who that's someone else who also has a very long lifespan and who wants to die. There's no way that Subaru is going to be cool with going down the path of killing Satella when he has just decided that he is going to save Beatrice, who's in a similar situation. Now, I have no idea what they're going to do with Satella. That's not something that's going to be decided until probably the end of the entire story. In the web novel, there is one more scene with the witches. After Subaru and Satella leave, the witches get back together. We learn that Minerva's authority used to work by taking mana from the world, like directly from the old or Lugana, I forgot. I don't know how exactly you're supposed to. Laguna. We'll go with that. The Ode Laguna. Don't trust my pronunciation of that. But it's the world's ode, basically. And one of the functions of the ode is to make sure that mana is spread out evenly throughout the world. Too little area in a part of the world would cause natural disasters. Minerva was taking mana, which was causing natural disasters in other parts of the world. She's saved tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands, but she's also killed just as many because of how her power works. She knows this. She is the one doing it. It's not an accident. All she cares about is healing physical pain and injuries in front of her. If it's emotional pain, if it's pain that's happening where she can't see it, she does not give a shit. Because of that, she is one of the more dangerous witches for the world itself. Ignoring envy. Just ignore envy for most list that involves the witches. Minerva thinks that Echidna wanted to be rejected. She acted weird in order to push Subaru into rejecting the deal. Echidna says that she's okay with being rejected because she was okay with either outcome. All the other witches say that is partially true, but not completely, as per her normal way of speaking in half-truths. Once again, I go back to the comment that I made a few videos ago. How much does Echidna know? It could be that she doesn't know anything. It could be that she actually wanted to make a contract, but I lean more towards her manipulating the events so that she would be rejected. I have no proof of this beyond what is mentioned in the web novel here, but I would just easily point to the Book of Wisdom. She could have very easily, at any point, looked and seen what was going to happen here during this tea party. And I would guess that she doesn't use it very often, but that doesn't mean that she never uses it. Minerva gets mad. Segma entertains her conversation. Daphne comes in with teasing. Carmilla soothes Typhon so she doesn't explode. Echidna watches on happily from aside. And Satella watches over them, smiling at the safety of the other six. Those were the days from 400 years ago, never to come again. The witches were friends. Echidna grabbed their souls after they died. And a part of this conversation really feels like it's just nostalgia for Echidna. Like she did this just so that she could hang out with her friends a little more. We also get a very tiny amount of detail for the deaths of the witches. Satella went mad from the witch factor. Minerva died insane in a trap. Carmilla burned to nothing in a great fire. Daphne wasted to death in a sea of sand. Typhon drowned in a flood. Segment fell down the great cascade as she decimated the dragon. Some of this info will come back up in the next arc, and maybe we'll get the rest of the details at a later time. This is what I meant when I said that things don't exactly add up. This makes it seem like the witches died of different causes, but in the last video they said that Satella was the one who killed them. Maybe what they meant was that Satella set these events up so that they would die in these different ways. I have no idea, and I'm gonna wait before I jump into doing a whole bunch of research on it. So maybe we'll get some more info later on. Their conversation ends with the topic of compensation. Normally, Echidna requires a payment of some sort for entering the tea party, but this time, Subaru got some really good info for what he needs to do next, and he left without making any sort of payment. At least that's the way that it looks. Compensation? Right, there was that. That was my parting gift for him and his foreseeable tribulation. If I told you such a thing, would you maybe laugh at me? Nope. The witches answer in unison. After all, you getting no compensation and just helping for help's sake would never happen. Well, you're not wrong in the least. So, did she get some kind of payment? Because this makes it seem like she did, but we don't get any details on what that would be. Maybe it's something she's planning for later and we'll see it then. But for now, we have got Subaru in a better headspace and some info on what to do with Garfield. So next time we will see what he is able to do with that. See ya.